Alright, back with another YouTube video. Alright, so let's look up these Raw results. Raw, SmackDown, NXT. You know how it goes. People say I should be more energetic during these. So, maybe I will. Don't think NXT spoilers out for the 21st to the April 4th. Alright, Raw started out with Ronda Rousey. Not Ronda. Oh, yes, it did. Yeah, Ronda and Kurt. Alright, so Kurt comes out there and says he wants to beat up Triple H. Which eventually they do fight. But Kurt says, I want to beat up Triple H. Stephanie comes out and says, oh, you can't beat up Triple H. Ronda comes out, says she wants to fight Stephanie for WrestleMania. And Triple H and Kurt are also going to be in that match, so it's going to be a mixed tag match at WrestleMania, which we all expected. So then we get Ronda does a Samoan drop to Stephanie. Triple H tries to do a pedigree on Kurt Angle. No, he does do a pedigree on Kurt Angle. And then, so that was like expected basically. Then we get Asuka versus Nia Jax. Asuka wins because nobody's ready for Asuka. Asuka's going to be undefeated until WrestleMania. We all know how it's going down. Alright. And then the hell? Alright. Anyway. Then we get the Bar versus the Revival. If the Revival win, they're going to be in the Tag Team Championship match at WrestleMania. The Bar win and retain. Well, not retain, but they squash all the tag teams because they're like, oh, we're the Bar. All the tag teams suck. We're going to fight Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. Haha. Or maybe, well, either they're going to fight Matt and Bray, or it's going to be Jeff and Matt, but Brother Nero and Broken Matt, so the Broken Hardys. Which essentially are the same people, but it's just a different gimmick. So then John Cena comes out and basically says how he has his way to Fastlane, or to WrestleMania. He's going to win the championship. Or he's going to win the WWE Championship, I should say. And he says, oh, AJ can just cash in his rematch clause at WrestleMania. Which, I don't think, John Cena's not winning. And then Goldust comes out, and I'm like, why? And then we get John Cena versus Goldust. John Cena wins because he's not losing to Goldust. God, terrible. Ah. Oh, camera fell over. Hold on, let me pick it back up. Oh, there's the ceiling fan in the background. Anyway. So then we get Bayley versus Mandy Rose. Bayley wins. Woohoo. Then we get the furthering storyline between Bayley and Sasha Banks. The bounce. So Sasha comes out to make the save because Absolution beat up Bayley. And then Bayley rejects a hug. She's a hugger, so that's why it's a surprise. And then after that, we get Elias walking out, ready for a Symphony of Destruction match with Braun Strowman, which Braun versus Elias happens. Braun wins. Before the match, Elias was trying to run away, trying to drive his car. Braun was picking the car up, yada yada. Classic Braun strength. Braun Strowman. No, I'm not finished with you. Whatever the hell. Stupid run. Anyway, then we get Bray Wyatt versus Rhino. Bray Wyatt wins, and then Matt Hardy calls him out for the ultimate deletion at the Hardy compound, which this match is happening before WrestleMania. I guarantee it. This match will not be live at WrestleMania because it's going to be a pre-tape. Nobody wants to go to WrestleMania and watch a freaking pre-tape. And then we get Brock Lesnar. Wait, no, not yet. We get Seth Rollins, burn it down, and then Finn Balor, the Demon. That was weird. Anyway, we get The Miz versus Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. No, Miz, Bo Dallas, and Curtis Axel versus Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. So Finn and Seth win, and then Kurt says Finn and Seth and Miz are all going to be in an IC title match. It's a triple threat. So we got this, and we got what is Miz's thing? I'm awesome. And then we got I could have said this. Too sweet me for Finn. Seth Rollins is Shield. Anyway. Then we get Big Dog. And Paul Heyman, the father of ECW, father of Extreme Championship Wrestling, the guy behind the guy that broke the streak. The guy behind the guy at 21-1, blah, 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 blah. I'm Paul Heyman. My name is Paul Heyman. Yeah, Paul Heyman. So, basically, Roman says Paul makes sure Brock's here tonight. Brock's here next week for a fight. And that's the end of Raw. Oh, Jesus. Let me look up freaking SmackDown results somewhere else that doesn't have ads playing in the background. Can't listen to that if I... So, start every SmackDown with hashtag FireRoadUp. Shout out to Deluxe Man. That's what's up. Anyway, oh yeah, I forgot to say, Raw was awesome. Even though it wasn't. So SmackDown started with Ruby Riott and Charlotte cutting promos on each other. Ruby's like, oh, Charlotte's great, but I'm gonna beat you. Charlotte's like, oh, Ruby, you suck, and I'm gonna win because I'm Ric Flair's daughter. Woo! That was terrible. Woo! There we go, it was better. And then Bobby Roode comes out, which was like overlapping storylines, and they mentioned that Bobby and Charlotte are mixed match challenge partners, so I don't know why they did that. And then we get Randy versus Jinder. Jinder wins because Bobby distracts Randy Orton. Then this match was, I don't know, just a match. Randy Orton, he's got more hair now, so that's something, I guess. Randy will probably win the US title at Fastlane. Might as well throw my Fastlane predictions in there. Charlotte versus Ruby. Charlotte's gonna win. Randy versus Jinder. I would say Randy versus Jinder. Randy versus Bobby. Randy. AJ Styles versus John Cena versus Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin versus Kevin and Sammy. AJ's gonna win. Then we get Becky versus Carmella. Becky wins because Carmella has the Money in the Bank briefcase, so she can lose as many times as she wants, and it doesn't matter because if she wins when she cashes in, that's all that matters. But will she win when she cashes in? We'll have to wait and see. Then we get backstage segment with Naomi and Natalya. So Naomi basically makes a match. Naomi and Becky versus Charlotte. Carmella and Natalya. Jeez. So for that match, the faces will probably win because why not? Then we get Ziggler and AJ promo. AJ's like, I've only been here for 6 months, and I won the WWE Championship twice. Ziggler's been here for 9 years. What have you done lately? He hasn't done nothing. AJ versus Ziggler ends in a double DQ. Then we get a 5-man. AJ, Sammy, Kevin, Ziggler, Baron Corbin, and Sami Zayn wins and pins Kevin Owens. So that was SmackDown, and I don't know what. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that was the end of SmackDown. Mixed match challenge: Bobby and Charlotte versus Braun and Alexa. No, wait, that wasn't a match. It was Braun and Alexa versus Jimmy Uso and Naomi. And Braun and Alexa win. Let me look up 205 Live. And the mixed match challenge matches are like comedy / wrestling, so whenever Braun and Alexa would like fall on each other or whatever, the crowd was chanting "Kiss," even though that can't happen because Alexa Bliss is engaged to Buddy Murphy. That's right. Then we get to 205 Live. Cedric versus Roderick Strong is happening next week. Ow. Jesus, let me look this up somewhere else. Alright. Drew Gulak versus Mark Andrews. Drew Gulak wins with a Dragon Sleeper to advance in the tournament, which I would have preferred Mark Andrews to win because I like Mark Andrews better than Drew Gulak, but it is what it is. Then we get Hideo Itami and Akira Tozawa versus some jobbers to set up for the Cruiserweight Tag Team Championship. And Tozawa and Hideo win. And we get Mustafa Ali versus Buddy Murphy. Mustafa Ali wins. This match was good back and forth. Mustafa Ali did a freaking 450 onto Buddy Murphy's arm. Like, wow. That was awesome. Alright. So now on to NXT results. Oh, tag match for Fastlane. Usos are retaining over the New Day. Probably. First match, Authors of Pain versus TM61. First round match of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. Authors of Pain win. Then we get... Oh, well, we got some interviews and whatnot. Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong. Pete Dunne's basically like, oh, hey, Roddy. And then Roddy's like, I want another championship match. Adam Cole comes in. Rico asks if there's a problem here. Then he makes a match between Adam Cole and Pete Dunne for the UK Championship. So that match is happening next week. Eric Young and Alexander Wolf are talking about their start in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. And then Nikki Cross laughs. And Killian Dame says that he's gonna run through Aleister Black tonight. Then we get Bianca Belair versus Drew Renee, and Bianca Belair wins because this was like a squash match for her. And Lacey Evans does a backstage interview. She's fighting Dakota Kai next week. Says she's gonna beat her. Shayna comes in. Lacey Evans walks away. So I'm sure at some point Shayna will probably destroy Lacey Evans. Heavy Machinery talk about whoever they're fighting in the first round of the Dusty Rhodes Classic, as if they don't know. It's going to be Heavy Machinery versus Street Profits. They basically say that they're going to beat the Street Profits. Tommaso comes out and then leaves because the crowd won't let him talk. They chant, "You suck." They chant, "Hey, hey, hey, goodbye." They're chanting for Johnny Gargano, of course. Then we get Aleister Black versus Killian Dane. Aleister Black wins with the Black Mass. And that's the end of NXT. And that's the end of wrestling for me. I'm titled this video WWE Talk, as opposed to just wrestling talk. So I'm not just talking about a random wrestling show. I'm actually titling the video something. So, see you guys next week. I made my Fastlane predictions within the mix of SmackDown and everything else. NXT probably the best show this week just because that main event was awesome. Alright, so see you guys next week. Probably Monday for Fastlane review.